Hey, how you doing? Today I'm going to be putting together a video about this lantern I picked up a couple of days ago. It's a Thermos lantern. It's model 8326. It looked in really good shape, so I went ahead and bought it. It wasn't quite in this good condition when I got it. Basically, I dismantled the whole thing, and I used quadruple zero super fine steel wool along with WD-40, and I cleaned out the generator parts. The glass was in good condition, so that didn't really require anything besides cleaning it in the sink. The valves functioned very well, and for the most part it was a very clean looking lantern. The only problem it did have is the pump part, which when I got it home I discovered that it wasn't working. So what I ended up doing was, thanks to a video on YouTube, it explained in the comments that there's an O-ring that can wear out, and that O-ring, you'll be able to see it. It's right here. Okay. This little ring right here, and the one that originally came with it had dried up, and the diameter of it shrunk, so it wasn't making a good seal around. So basically, when you're pushing down on the plunger, it creates a seal towards the top which prevents air from escaping, and then it's forced through this seal here into the tank and pressurizes it. When you withdraw the plunger, the washer drops down and it allows air to pass through these three little holes. Thus you don't create a vacuum and suck out the air you just pumped in. So basically that's all it needed. The other thing that needed was this gasket here, which was cracked. And initially this gasket rode up on top of the cylinder, in between the cap and the cylinder, like so. But what I discovered was, when I bought a replacement gasket for it, a round one, which that one was square looking, it would leak in between here and the tank. So what I ended up doing was getting a round gasket and putting it on this side as opposed to this side, and that solved the leak issue, so it didn't leak anymore, and now it's working pretty good. So I noticed that there was only 2 other videos in regards to this lantern, so I figured I'd go ahead and do a video, because there aren't a whole lot of these left. It seems like even if you go on the internet and you look it up, you only get maybe 20 or 30 replies. So that leads me to believe that even though some people say that there's a lot of these out there, there really aren't. And the ones you do find are decently priced. So if you can pick one up that's in decent shape, I guess I would advise that it wouldn't be a bad idea. I have a Coleman double fuel that I bought in case I need a lamp, and I just happened to see this one on Craigslist and it looked pretty decent, so I went ahead and picked it up, and I'm glad I did. So now if something happens to my primary lamp, I got this one that I can go back on and use. So let me go ahead and get this thing lit up here so that you can see it working. Oh, one other thing that I noticed with it was that the tank inside was rusted, and basically what I did is I put some sea foam in it along with some white gas, just a little bit, slushed it around in there, let it soak for a couple of days, and you know, cleaned it out with a paper towel as best as I could. But I mean, for the most part, it's working pretty good so far, so I don't think it affects the operation very much. Well, there it is, guys. There's my video on the Thermos model 8326 40-year-old gasoline running lantern.